The dog is back again. It's been a while actually since we have the dog. But yeah, anyways, special effect. The more elements the dog has, the more damage it will take. Assassin damage increase, nuclear damage increase. For the gimmick, after the first turn, the dog will summon the minions or the souls, and then killing the souls will inflict elements on the dog. You want to ideally inflict 4 types of elements because that will give it extra defense debuff, which is 30%. So if you're doing a damage calculation, make sure to include 30% into the calculator. So let's take a look at the team. We are of course running a Queen team. So it's gonna be Queen, Twins, Tempest Wind and Taba. We're gonna all in this side because Arn is just not as good as Queen obviously, even though my Arn is A4. And the reason I chose Twins is because of the Pierce. Having the Signal skill makes it easier to cap the defense. And we're using Tempest Wind here because if we use Tempest Wind on the other side, we cannot use the regular Navigator Wind. And I also don't have Phoebe, so I cannot use Phoebe on the other side. So Queen is running the Awareness and Truth set. And okay, let me show you the mindscape a bit. I buff a bit of crit, a bit of pierce rate, and a bit of attack. There's a bit of stats. And then she has 5-star weapon. And then you want at least 19.1% pierce, including Navigator. It's quite high because you need it to reduce the defense. If you don't have max mindscapes on Twins, then you might even make it higher. And then for crit rate, you want for about 45.1% crit rate including your Navigator. So I already overcapped by a little bit here. Then we have Tempest Wind. The mindscape max the skills. It's running the Creation Wooly set with star weapon, stat screen. Then we have the Twins. So same thing, I also maxed the skills. You have to include Departure Control set here for defense debuff. They have 5-star weapon, stat screen. Then for Taba, same thing, I maxed the skills for the mindscape. You need Resolve Labor here for the 10% defense debuff, 5-star weapon, stat screen. For the dagger, Ex Machina. If you struggle to hit 19.1% pierce for Queen and Futaba combined, you can just run Starry Compass. Starry Compass gives you 22% defense drop at R5. I wouldn't really recommend Arc Knife because you are required to hit the opponent, and we only hit the opponent on the very last turn, which is kinda useless already because you want to apply a defense debuff a bit earlier. Personas, first one we have Bisha Mountain, just give it Rakunda. We have Yanosik, give it Rebellion. And then Dionysus, which you only need Revolution. For turn order, DPS the last one off as always. Then if you A0 Twins, recommend it to be number 1 to apply skill amplification from skill 3, and these two swapping should be fine. Okay, first one we do Fire Ice. Then we do a skill 2 from Wind. Then we Bisha Mountain to do a little bit of damage. Of course, the damage and stuff depends on how strong characters are. You can pretty much skip like the first turn if you do too much damage. We do a skill 1 with Queen. Okay, summon the souls. Then we do Futaba skill 2 on the dog. Then we do a Psychic and Nuke skill on the yellow one. Ideally you wanna kill that. Then we do a Bisha Mountain highlight on the blue one. Make sure you also kill that one. The blue one especially is to reduce the RNG of freeze because the blue one can freeze you, which is annoying. And freezing will decrease your attack and you don't want that. Then we do a skill 3 on Queen. Then a Bisha Mountain Rakunda on the dog. Then we do a skill 2 from Queen of the attack. Then just tank, should be fine. Then we use a Fire Ice highlight, Fire Ice skill. Fire Ice skill on the red one. This will trigger one more. And you want to ideally kill the green one, so kill all the souls now. Then we do a skill 2 from Tempest Wind. And then we do a Yanosik Rebellion. Buff Queen, and this will also inflict the mark for defense debuff. Then we break with skill 1. Ideally you want to get all the elements here. Shock Freeze, only got Shock and Freeze. So let me check the elements. Okay, everything is 2 turns. You ideally want all the 4 elements for 2 turns, so that it lasts until the end of the fight. Now we do double skill 1, debuff defense. So if you notice, I used the skill 2 turns earlier. I don't want to use it last turn because I don't have enough charge to get the data storm. Then we do a Fire Ice highlight. I'm not sure which one is better here, I didn't actually test, but I chose the Fire Ice highlight for twins because it's an AoE buff to your party, buffs to everybody. So everybody will do more damage, and then we're gonna use a Bishop Mountain later on, which can do a decent chunk of damage. Then we do a skill 3 for twins. Then a wind skill 3. Emperor's wind skill 3. So here's the thing, right? You wanna ideally have 10 stacks of Blossom. This one. I only have 7 unfortunately, because this Blossom activates the Vernal Splendor passive from Wind, so it's this one. At 10 stacks it gives you more crit damage, and you get stacks depending on the number of times you hit. So just now we break the skill 1 to inflict all the elements on the dog, and also to give 5 stacks of the Blossom, because skill 1 hits 5 times from the Queen, right? So this one hits 5 times. Then skill 3 can also hit 3 times, up to 3 hits depending on the number of elements, which we have max elements already, so it will hit 3 times, so 7, this one was 7, right, plus 3, 10. We're gonna have 10 for the last turn. But yeah, we do a Revolution Dionysus of the crit. Now we check the crit. My crit is pretty overcapped here, into plus 10. It's overcapped by almost 10%, because I didn't take into account the skill amplification from the twins. So just now I used a skill 3 from Wind. This one buffs 17% crit and max Mindscape. And then I just now use a Revolution also, right? So these 2 things, Revolution and Wind skill 3, gives more crit rate because of skill amplification from twins. So yeah, overcapped by 10% quite a bit, but I'm a bit lazy to optimize now. So yeah, we use skill 3 with Wind. 1.3 million, that is good damage. Then now let me check again the Blossom stack for Queen. You can see that it's 10 stacks now, so yeah, it's fully activated the crit damage. You can see 35.4% crit damage. It actually activates 2 times. It's actually like 17 something percent per 5 stacks, I guess. So 5 stacks you get 1, another 5 stacks you get another stack. So it's like 17 something times 2. Okay, hopefully I'm not making this too confusing, but anyways, we do a Futaba skill 3. Okay, Queen. And do a Side Nuke. I put Side Nuke on the last one because, you know, Nuke, you do a bit more damage, just to optimize things a bit more. Then we do a skill 2 with Wind. Then we Bishop Mountain. Bishop Mountain, signature skill. So do a good chunk of damage, can buff attack, can inflict the Tower Purification thing, which you see there. Then we do a Queen highlight. $800k, that's okay, I guess that was skill 3, it should be good damage. 1.7 million, that's good damage. It should be 110 or something. 105, okay. That's a big difference, the highest was 111. The last time this boss reran was back in October. Took a while. We were probably gonna see more of it when CNY Ruin comes, or I'm not sure if she has her own boss, but regardless, we're gonna see a lot of fire stuff soon. So the first special effect is a technical. So when you activate technical, you increase attack and crit damage by 25%. Then foes that have burn will take more damage. Super damage increase. The gimmick itself, when Vishnu falls below 90%, it summons 2 Vishnu, and then when it falls 60% again, summon 2 more Vishnu. So it's gonna be 5 Vishnu total, including the main one. And all of them share Soul Link, so they share the damage. So here's the team. We're gonna run Court, Matoi, and Wind. With our Matoi, you can easily replace with Howler or even Key also. If you want, if you have to have Key build, Leon also works okay. I actually tried Court and Leon team, not the best, but it still did respectable points. It's worse because you cannot burn with your Leon and Court team, obviously. But anyways, we go to Aunt. So I buff a little bit of crit rate for the Mindscape, just to hit the cap. Then she's running Acceptance and Strife. 5-star weapon. You ideally want 22.9% pierce rate, including Navigator, to hit the defense cap if you're using Matoi. If you're using Howler, it's going to be even higher because Howler has lesser defense debuff. It's not easy to reach 20 plus pierce. So yeah, for crit rate, you want about 47% crit, which is pretty high also, including Navigator, to reach the cap. So Core has max mindscapes for skills, running the Creation Reconciliations card set, then the 5-star weapon, start screen. And then we have Matoi. She is running the Fertility Faith set. Yeah, also my element accuracy I increased a little bit just to hit the cap. She has a 5-star weapon, then make sure you hit 171% element accuracy in battle. Then for Navigator, we are running Wing. So she is running Integrity and Labor, 5-star weapon, set screen. For the dagger, I'm not really sure which one is better. Ex Machina, Sari Compass, they are about the same. So you can just try both and see which one scores you higher. But just keep in mind that there's quite a bit of variance with this. The DoD in general has high variance because 99.9% of your points come from the last 2 turns. So everything is concentrated there. So there's a lot of like variance that can get influenced. But yeah, for Persona, first one we have Cert. Obviously, we are going to use Marakunda. Okay, and also give it Media so that you can heal, because this is going to be a 6-turn rotation and you're not running any sustain here. Then you need Chikokuten for Rebellion to buff the crit, and also Tarukaja for attack. Then Emunuzume, give it Wild Thunder, Maziodyne or something for the shock and to activate the crit rate from the passive. For turn order, An must be last, then Matoi and Wonder you can swap, should be fine. So the first turn, we do a skill 1 with Matoi. So if you do a bit too much damage, you can skip like a few of these. Then we do an attack, because the boss summons at 90% or less. Then we do a skill 1. My core is A1, so it's already boosted. So we summon 2. Then we do a skill 2. Just to do a bit of damage. And we just tank. Then we don't use wind first because it's gonna be too much damage. We do another skill 1. We just want to get Matoi to 4 stacks of the extinguish, so that the skill 3 will get the extra buff. Then here we just do a Media, just a heal. Then we just tank. Then here we do a Cert highlight. Then you can just guard here. If you want, you can do a skill 1 again if you don't have enough damage. Because now we need to hit below 60%, which we should. Now it's all at this point you have to summon everything because we are starting to apply all the debuffs. Then we do a skill 1 here. And then a Marakunda. So that's why I mean you need to summon everything, because you apply Marakunda now. Then we do a skill 3 from Court, Wonder. Then apply the debuff again. And then An can just guard, because the health is very low anyways, so no need to attack anymore. We guard. Then we do a wind skill 1. Now apply debuff. This is the break turn also. Then we do a Matoi highlight to increase damage taken. Make sure you don't kill first. And then we do a skill 3. This is an enhanced skill 3, because we have 4 extinguished stacks. Then we go Chikokuten, apply the Rebellion. And then we do a core skill 2. And then we can break with An. Make sure you break with a skill 1, because the skill 1 gives you attack buff. And make sure you activate a roll state here, so that we can activate it again on the last turn, which is the big damage turn. Then we use wind skill 3. Doesn't matter who you target here. Here we do a Matoi skill 1 again. Then we do Emerald Uzume Mode Thunder, pray for shock. 5 out of 5 maybe. 4 out of 5, okay. Good enough I guess. Then we do a skill 1. Now we can try to apply shock to the last one. I think it was the left one that was not shock, right? Yeah, so we skill 1 on the left one, pray it shocks. Then we have 5 out of 5. Okay, nice, we have 5 out of 5. Then we do a chord highlight. And then you can check your crit, your uncrit. Make sure you're plus 10% because of shock. So I'm 99.3% including shock. So almost there. So it's good enough. Then we do a skill 3, do some damage. Now we do a wind skill 3. Doesn't matter who you target again. Because it's, you know, the target is only the healing, everybody gets a damage buff anyways. Then we skill 3 again. So the nice thing about this skill 3 is that it doesn't override the skill 3 that we did. So let me show you what I mean. So if you look at this one, we have 2, right? We have the Extinguishing and the Requiem. So this Requiem one is 42.7%, it's higher. And it says the same effect does not stack and greater effect applies. So it's fine to use 2 skill 3. And you should do another skill 3 here because skill 3 does more damage. If you look at the number, 94.8% attack, this one is 106% attack. It's the same thing for Cold Flames. Cold Flames is the status that you get from Matoi skill 3. So the bigger effect, 95.1%, is supplied. So you don't have to worry about accidentally overstacking or overwriting, I mean. Then we do a Chikokuten Tarukaja. Then we do an Un skill 3. Un skill 3, Cold skill 3 on Un. We do the higher damage. I'm hoping this will be a new record. Oh, there's Ice Burn also. You can see that there's Ice Burn here. Ice Burn is activated when you hit a fire move on a frozen opponent. And the chance of activating this is 50%. You can see that this one has Ice Burn, this one has Ice Burn, this one has Ice Burn. Okay, everybody has Ice Burn, that's good. The thing is because Matoi's highlight can also force an Ice Burn, it's a 50% chance, and then Anna herself can also activate Ice Burn. So this is, I guess, a perfect run you can say because everybody has Ice Burn, so everybody gets the extra damage taken increase. But sometimes you might see that some has Ice Burn, some doesn't. And it's because it's a 50% chance to get Ice Burn, so you may get screwed by RNG. So we can do an Anna highlight here. You can see that there's a few Ice Burns there, right? Then we do a skill 3. And I get 63. The skill 2 is a terrible timing. Why you activate now? $59. Wow, I think I'm getting screwed by the damage variance. Okay, anyways.